Oh my good babies. All right. Well, we are live. Welcome everybody to Coffee and Cats, and welcome back. If you were one of the OGs from KJ's Cat Club, we still got it going strong. We just haven't been doing. Honestly, Caturday mornings have been kind of crazy. So I was like, you know what? It's a new year. I want to bring back coffee and cats. So as you can see, Malcolm and Johnny Storm remember coffee and cats well. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle is one of our Cat Club VIPs. So she is backstage. I don't see your camera right now, Michelle, but she has a couple of kitties who she actually adopted through ARPO several years ago now, and they are official members of the Cat Club. I see good mornings coming in from Facebook users. If you would click that little link in the description that gives StreamYard permission to show me your name, then I can actually say hello to you instead of just hello, Facebook user. So Little Giles has joined in. This is the first time that the Tuxedo Twins have been a part of a. What are you doing, Patches?
Sorry.
We got feedback. Oh, hang on.
There we go.
Getting the hang of this again. Giles is very interested in the chew roots. Yes, he is. He said, yeah, I'm really interested in the chew roots. All right, guys. It's a long broadcast. We'll get you more chew roots.
Sorry.
Hi, Leanne. Oh, it looks like the Millers have joined us.
Yep.
We're so glad. You guys turn around and
So
say hi.
the good mornings were from Chris Smith and Michelle Harlow.
Oh, awesome. And thanks to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Watching on YouTube just helps us grow our channel more, which is a big deal for us. Let's see. The cats are on the big screen. Excellent. I got their toys out. We don't have our coffee or our chicken yet. Patches is working on that. But I do have the silver vine. And I've had several people asking about this since I was on Lifestyle Live talking about must-haves for cats. So it's not really. There we go. Is it zooming in there? There we go. This is one of my favorites. Oh, hello, Dane. Dane is watching as well on YouTube. Thank you very much. So Silvervine, I'm just going to start off, educating you. Silvervine is similar to catnip. Basically, it's grown it grows naturally in Asia and that part of the world. So instead of catnip, they have silvervine. And of course, we have the internets now, so we can connect and get silvervine shipped over here. So the kittens are off to get chicken, but I'm putting silvervine on their kick toys, which again, another one of my favorites here. I'm kind of a big dill. Listen, what I like about this is that it's got this netting on the back, so they can really get their teeth into it and kick it and chew it. So it is a favorite. I just bought 7 of them because they were on sale half off there was an Amazon Lightning deal. So every kitten in the house got a brand new pickle. All right. We've got the chicken. Bags of chicken are common in this house because Patches makes it for a healthy treat. Look at Buffy's tail. That was just Buffy's tail in the shot. I know, Paul. Isn't it crazy to see the kittens' tails? Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, Mommy needs to scoot back a little bit so that we can see more cats in the shot. Here's Grayson. Hi, Grayson. He says, I don't want silvervine. I want chicken. I think Amelia is taking a nap, and Melody is Melody down in the basement?
She is.
All right, so hang on, guys. Here's some chicken, okay? Here's some chicken. Here's some chicken. I know, Grayson, there's some chicken. Patches has got the kitty mobile cam ready to go so that you can see Melody this morning. But back to the silvervine. There's lots of different ones I've tried out there. Hi, Misty. Thanks for tuning in. The Meowie Jane silvervine is the one that our cats seem to like. Hello, Chris. Chris has got a couple of kittens from ARPO, which we love. ARPO is where we adopted Buffy and Giles from. So we've got I love, I work with a ton of shelters. It just so happens that our KJ's Cat Club is growing with ARPO kitties. So if you are looking to adopt, obviously I support you going to any shelter or rescue. But my friends at ARPO are doing a lot of work with indie neighborhood cats right now. And they just took in, it was 13, and they've got 3 more have joined their club because a mama cat just had babies. So they are amazing at helping us with the kittens. I am worried about this coffee. Let me take a drink. I'm going to pass that off to you. I hope you guys have your coffee. I was wondering what kind of challenges we were going to have. Giles is actually sitting off to the side here, being very good. He is our most motivated. I know, Buffy. Look at that tail. Look at that tail. She says, everybody out of the way. I got a fantastic tail. You do have a fantastic tail. Can you show? She says, no, I'm not showing everybody my feet. I'm only showing everybody my tail. All right, here we go.
Thank you for the private comment there, musical director Paul.
Let's see. Aaron, yes, the kittens are very big. Buffy is still about a pound smaller than Giles. We haven't done weigh-in this morning because we were getting everything ready. That's weird, Michelle. She says, Michelle is in the private chat. Do you want to bring her on for a second? Because we were talking about our ARPO kitties, and she's got Jude and Louie, who are ready to go. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Welcome to the party.
The cats are not around. They left me. Look, I got baby boss.
You've got, of course, the dog is here for coffee and cats.
Yeah. Well, he likes to play. There's Louie. Here comes Louie.
Here comes Louie.
Hopefully.
Yay. So
I do have treats just in case.
Oh, you got the churros too?
Well, it's not churro. It's by Temptations.
Oh, it's their version. Okay. Yeah. I think since churro hit the market, there's like Delectables has.
Yeah,
there's
I've
version.
I've seen several brands now. Yeah.
There's a Fussy Cat has a version, but we stick with the churros. That seems to be what they like the most.
Oh, there he is.
There's Louie. Yay. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Mary Beth. Thanks for joining us. I know you're in the middle of moving this weekend, so I appreciate you being here with us. For anyone who is a patron, that was kind of last minute, but anyone who is like, even at the $3, I support the cats level. I did send you a link if you want to join backstage. It's in your Patreon message from me, so you can join backstage and hop on like Michelle is right now. We only have some limited space with StreamYard, but I sent it to everybody. And if you haven't joined and you want to, do $3 and buy a couple cans of food for the cats, cue the Sarah McLachlan music.
Yeah, right.
For just $3 a month, you can help feed these poor cats. But no, I appreciate everybody that does that. Oh, Aunt Laura's watching. Hello, Laura. While we've got Malcolm's interest, I wanted to show you. This is a new toy that we got. Now, listen, I got it as a lightning deal because it's like $49. And I was like, no. I love you cats, but no, but it was $24.99 the other day. It is a favorite. This thing has everything, as you can see. Now, babies are like, let us at it. So the feather moves around. It's got a red dot in this little like pink diamond thing. It has 2 balls that they can play with. And then it's got a setting. I think it's the yellow setting that we like, where it's got the little peekaboo toy that comes out. So it literally is like every cat toy in one. So I can actually see why it's $49, but I would watch for it on Amazon. I do have it in my shop, but watch for it to be a lightning deal again, because it is totally worth it. I know you guys are just like chicken. So let's see. Let's see. Chris said, please no Sarah right now. No, I will not. We do not put that music on either. Now, if you're not familiar with the churros, I just saw a question about that. They are, it's Go-Gurt for cats, essentially, and it's a nice treat you can give them. I know most treats are, hard treats you can give them. So if you're trying to avoid the dry food, or you got a cat like Grayson that doesn't have teeth, the churros are, or any version of that, are a great way to go. We actually found out about the churros when Johnny Storm was sick, and we had to put him through his shot treatment to save his life. And the lady who we met up with that educated us on how to do the shots handed us a bag of churros and was like, "You're going to need these." Let's see. Erida says, yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're great to give pills. Like if you need to crush up a pill, churros are the way to go. And yes, everybody's noticing Giles and how interested he is. Giles is incredibly food motivated, and he does hang with his brothers quite a bit. Buffy is a little more independent, and she does hang out. She's been playing with Amelia a lot, hasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, she's
been playing chase a lot.
Yes. And Giles, actually, I will tell you guys, happiest thing in the world. Since Grayson doesn't play a lot, he has a couple of toys, and he's actually been more active recently with the kittens. But one of the things that he did, he bonded with Rhodey right away when we got him, and he and Rhodey would play chase. So Rhodey figured out, like, you can't rough and tumble with Grayson. He doesn't have any teeth, and he also really doesn't like that. Giles, I know, look at you two. Oh, Grayson's going to bathe him. Oh, he's going to get love. If you want to take the camera so they can see Giles and Grayson together. Giles has figured out how to play. No, I just meant to go to the full shot.
Oh, sorry.
How to play with Grayson, and they have been chasing each other around. And it has been so, so wonderful to see Grayson playing with another cat again, because even Amelia, they're like cuddle buddies, right? Like they don't really play. So, at first we had to watch because we're still integrating them, right? So we have to watch their interactions. So we were like, is Giles chasing him? Like, is he want this? And then we saw Grayson turn around and chase Giles out of the room, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're playing! Oh my gosh! So, good boy. This is my big clown feet. Look at my clown feet. I've got such big feet.
The Facebook user is Mama Marie.
Oh, Marie! Yay! Yeah, it's so weird. I get it. It's a level of security if you don't want me showing up. But when it says Facebook user, there's a little link in the description where we went live that says, like, click here to give StreamYard permission to show your name, and then in the comments I'll see who you are. But Marie is the foster mom who helped us get these babies. Yes, I know. And she actually named them. I get all this credit, Marie, for their names. So people are like, oh my gosh, I love this name, Buffy and Giles. And I'm like, I did it. Like I have to give the credit to their foster mom. Now, naming them Buffy and Giles was certainly some incentive for us as Buffy. Chris, who's watching, she's got kittens from Marie as well. She adopted a couple of kittens, and one of them was that muted Siamese.
Oh, yes. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes, I was like,
beautiful.
I remember when Chris actually posted on Facebook, she posted the group of kittens, and she was like, I don't know who to choose. And I was like, that little Siamese one's pretty cute. So now I get to watch her grow up. Yes, Lily and Malone. And they're big now. They got big fast, Chris. I think what you probably have them maybe a year old. I just have to say, like, it's so much fun that you are all here, and that I know your cats. I know you know our cats, and I appreciate that. But it's fun for me. I've got hair on my mouth, so I'm trying to figure out how to get the hair out of my mouth so that I can drink my coffee. It's not working. So, oh, I got it. It wasn't a cat hair. It was actually one of mine. I tried to do like, you know, wispy hair around my face. All it's doing is making me eat my own hair while we're live. Cheers to coffee. But seriously, I love seeing your cats grow up. It's so much fun to see all of these kittens becoming cats. Michelle, how old are Jude and Louis? I just had the anniversary come up. Are they 3?
3.
They're 3. Oh my gosh.
I'll have them April.
I can't hear
April 15th is their adoption day.
That's so weird. I don't know why I can't. I think everybody else can hear you because I can hear you in the stream.
You can't hear me?
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I don't think it's you. I think it's our weird connection this morning.
Yeah, they'll be adopted 3 years, April 15th, I think. So I could put it in the comment.
So everybody else can hear her, but I cannot.
So I got the captions. They'll be adopted
in April, yes, because okay, so thank you. Everybody was like, we can hear Michelle. I'm the only one that can hear Michelle. I don't know. Nope, you can just hear me. April 15th, 3 years. Yeah, because they were and that's how I met Marie. It's like oh my gosh, like you guys, it's all connected. It's like it's manifest. It's all connected. So I met Marie, who is the reason we have Buffy and Giles. I met Marie Valentine's Day weekend 3 years ago because Jude and Louie's mama had moved her kittens under our best friend's porch, and the snowstorm was coming. And normally, indie neighborhood cats, I mean, there's actually an ordinance that you can't, trap cats. I think it's under 20 degrees. You can't trap. So we had to, kind of make it an exception because we were going to have this big snowstorm and then it was going to drop below 0. And this mama cat was
they would have been
trapped.
Yeah, they would have
been trapped. So indie neighborhood cats, ARPO, and we had to call in
animal care.
We had to call in Indianapolis Animal Care Services to get an officer out because of the way that they were. It was so impossible. This was a concrete porch that they had found a way into, and so that was how I met Marie. And it was so hard because I don't know if you remember, but we got the mama, and I think we actually got Louie. And then it was like hours and hours and it was getting dark and we had to maybe back with the other ones and come back in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, like I was getting schooled in what it's like to trap cats. Like, I can't believe we've got these 2 and we have to put them back, but that was best for the kittens. And then we came back in the morning and the officer came out and he literally, like, he was like, it was like minutes. Like, he's like, I've got a little bit of time left and we still hadn't gotten him. And he was like, do you have a shop vac? Because there was a hole on the other side of the porch.
No, air compressor.
An air compressor. Yeah, an air compressor.
A shop vac.
Can we like suck them out? We're going to suck out the kittens. Sorry, now. Do you have an air compressor? Because I think we can shoot them out. And he literally, like, that was what we did. Maria and I sat on one side of the concrete porch and he was on the other, and he would blow air and it would push the kittens towards us and we'd grab one and put them in, and then he'd blow air. And it was Louie who was the last holdout. I was like, come on, man. Like, this is life or death. This is it, man. And we finally got a big burst of air and we got him in. That was just crazy. I still have it. If you want to see it, I have the story in my kitty correspondent playlist. That was really how I got started with indie neighborhood cats. I was already, in touch with them.
Wait,
but
was that when we had a heating station or a fire going in the
yeah,
driveway?
Because it was so cold, and there were all these different people from these different groups that were coming, trying to help save this one mama and her kittens.
Yeah, that's right.
And so what was amazing, Marie said, I blindly grabbed a few, and then you grabbed the last ones. And Michelle said he was the most scared of all the kittens. He was. And that was why, like, going full circle and working with Indie Neighborhood Cats, I'm just so impressed and amazed at the individual care that goes into every single mama and kitten or sick cat. That, like, it is a team of people that will spend days, sometimes weeks and months, just trying to help one mama in a group of kittens. So props to Marie and Dawn at Marie at ARPO, Dawn at Indie Neighborhood Cats, all of the team that works with them, and everybody that works to trap, because it's not easy at all. And it's amazing. And Michelle showing Louie there a little bit ago how confident and happy he is. That guy, if Michelle hadn't gone to meet Jude and realized how much Louie needed to be with one of those other cats, that he needed to be bonded, I don't know. Louie was scared.
He was very scared. It was Louie that was really scared, right, Michelle?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Michelle. We can hear her now.
Oh, you can hear me now. Yay.
So tell us, Michelle, because you went to meet Jude. Mm-hmm. How did you end up being like, we're going to take Louie too?
Well, it was like a couple of days after
mm-hmm.
we were talking about it, and we'd already put in the application for Jude. And we were going to visit my grandmother, and we were heading up in the elevator, and I was like, and when we visited Jude at the foster home, Mike sat in a chair by the cat tree, or the thing that Louie was sitting on, and Louie like came up to Mike, let Mike pet him, and he didn't let hardly anybody pet him.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about it. I was like, so I had reached out to the foster mom about, do I need to put in another application for Louie? And they're like, no, we'll just add him to the original application. And that's pretty much.
I love it. Now they haven't. They still like each other. Are they still?
They play together a lot. Jude likes to stay downstairs with Smokey a lot.
Okay.
He sometimes terrorizes her sometimes because she doesn't want to play. But Mike said last night they were all down there, and Baby Boss and Smokey finally played a little bit because they used to play all the time.
Oh, good. And Baby Boss is Michelle's dog, so yes. She's got like a whole cat dog.
Now, Baby Boss and Jude play a lot. I mean, they get pretty rough too. So I have to get on to Baby Boss not to get too rough with him, even though Baby Boss will be 12 next month.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe he's 12. His mom's getting ready to turn 15. So,
aww.
And my sister has his mom. But, Louie and Jude will play a lot in the morning times.
Mm-hmm.
And they get you always tell because Louie and Jude will start licking each other and then they'll fight.
Oh yes, isn't that? It's so funny. I think probably everybody is like that has cats. Like, yeah, I know that. That behavior where they're just like, "Hey, I love you so much. I love you so much," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Let's go."
And like Jude is Mike's. Like it's kind of swapped. Like Louie's my boy and Jude's Mike's boy. So like I have to kind of force Jude to let me love on him. But Louie, he sleeps by my head in the bed a lot. He comes and meows at me all the time.
Aww.
He's like an alarm clock for us too. So And sometimes Jude, if he's upstairs, if we have Jude to stay up here, if he's being a little too rough with Smokey, we'll just have Smokey downstairs and we'll have him up here at nighttime sometimes
Mm-hmm.
to separate that.
Yeah,
And we kind of carry her up here, but it's, so, and we pet with her a little bit, but she doesn't want to have anything to do with upstairs anymore. So,
well, and I want to say I applaud you, Michelle, because you have worked through it, and we have to meet our cats where they're at. Like we have this dream of, we want all of our cats to love each other. We want to have a big happy household. We want the dog to get along with the cats. We want to sit on the couch and have all of our animals with us and love us. But sometimes that's not who they are together, right? Like they have their territories. They have what makes them feel safe. And I'll tell you, it's really hard. I mean, we go through that with Melody all the time, where we'll have like the other 6 cats are out, and it's like, man, I wish Melody would be here with us right now. But it's stressful for Melody to be around lots of cats. She's good to be around Grayson. She's good to be with the kittens when it's just the kittens and they've got all their play energy run out of them and they're just hanging out. Like she doesn't want to be around all of the cats. And it's like, you feel like sometimes like, what am I doing wrong? You're not. We're not doing anything wrong.
I just think it's the cat thing,
Right.
It's just the.
It's just how they are, right? And it's like, we don't force our, we understand our human friends have boundaries, and some of them are introverts and aren't going to come to everything, and we don't make that like, no, you will be in a social setting for a very long time. And so like we kind of have to to meet the cat where they're at. If that's not something that's going to make your cat feel safe, then don't feel bad about it. You're like, Smokey is fine. She's got her space. She's happy where she is, right?
And I think with Smokey, we rescued her from Mike's job because he works at the paper recycle plant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And her back hip was hurt. He snuck her home because for a long time I didn't want cats. For a long time, I had cats growing up. I love animals.
You didn't want cats?
I didn't. I'm being honest. But he brought her, and I fell in love with her when she was a kitten, and I took her, and she was jumping just fine. And the vet said that even though her hip was a little out of socket, or I think she got hurt at the plant is what happened. And he said that sometimes cats redo something and it just fixed itself.
Yeah.
So she's not had trouble. Now I think the older she gets, the arthritis is bad for her. I think she does have arthritis, but I took her to the vet and had the geriatric workup and everything came back fine.
Good.
So
she just
doesn't want to socialize. So
I want to mention to you, anytime I talk about anything that has to do with like medical, you need to talk to your vet, right? But you can't get this without talking to a vet anyway. But there is a shot called Silencia that is an arthritis shot. It's been out. We started doing it with Jana last year, so it's been out for a while. And you do have to take them in once a month for it, but it's incredible how much better they get, like how much less pain they have. It's totally worth the once a month going in and giving them a shot. So talk to your vet about that. See if her numbers are good, like all of that stuff, that she's a candidate, that she could have it.
Right.
Because we're starting to realize sooner in the veterinary world, like, when your cat is 6 or 7, they're middle-aged, and most of us here are middle-aged, and you could say like, yeah, my knees hurt more than they used to, right? So in recognizing as much as we don't want to at 6 or 7 be like, they're still young. They are, but they might, they can have some early onset arthritis at that point. So treating it sooner so that it doesn't get worse with some of the new medicines is definitely a trend. So you might want to talk about to your vet about that and see, and you can do it. The thing is, and I see Erin has said that it worked for Ella a little bit too. The thing is, like, it's not something that builds up. Like, they get the shot and you're going to tell pretty quickly if it made them feel better. So it's not something, if you do it and you're like, I don't see any difference, you don't have to keep doing it, but it is definitely worth a try, because Jana started jumping back on the bed within a couple of days of having it. It was amazing. And we've actually
she was even running around and playing.
She was running. Like, she was playing. Oh, remember, she was playing with her green, mouse again.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. We're actually, we're kind of in that phase where we're keeping an eye on Grayson to see if that's something that we might mix in for him pretty soon. I'll go ahead. I can kind of go into giving you guys an update here on Grayson and Melody, because it's been an interesting week. And definitely, if you have questions about your cats or anything that I'm talking about, put the questions in the comments, because I want to interact with you. Grayson went in this week for a second check of his blood pressure. He's been vocalizing more. We knew so if you go back and you've followed along, we're about 7 weeks out from he had a big GI issue. And with cats, especially as they age, he's always had he's had a sensitive system, and he's always had some IBD that flares, that we would give him steroids for a little while. It goes away. Obviously, as he gets older, when it happens, we get a little more scared because
he becomes very lethargic,
and it can be lymphoma, right? Well. And so, like, we're not interested. If you know my history, lymphoma took both of my parents. So, like, I don't want to hear that word ever again. So, we were a bit nervous, but he's doing much better. One of the things that we wanted to see is if he could gain weight, because if you're feeding them, you're doing all the right things, and they're still losing weight, that's usually a sign that something more serious is going on. He's back up to 10 pounds. So he is gaining weight. He's on a high calorie gel. He's on a high calorie food, but he's gaining weight. So
goat's milk definitely helps.
The raw goat's milk is something that I highly recommend you talk to your vet about. You can get it at Hollywood Feed. It's one of the places that carries it. Locally, Platinum Paws has it. And it's a supplement that saved his life when he couldn't eat, when he had stomatitis. So he's doing very well. His blood pressure is interesting. And, like, trying to get a cat's blood pressure at the vet is probably not the most accurate blood pressure, because they're at the vet. Paul just said it's fun watching Johnny follow your hands as you talk. Yeah, he's like, where's the chicken? Where's the chicken?
And hi to Stephanie Purvis as well.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining.
Chimed in with a smiley face.
So when we talk about, did you hear Buffy just growled?
Yes.
Buffy doesn't share food. Buffy does not share food. I saw somebody said that they're taking their cat, Marie, 13-year-old cat, to the vet. Yeah, ask them about Silencia. It's a pretty amazing drug out there that is helping a lot of cats with their arthritis. So it's just something to ask about if your cat would be a candidate for it. But yeah, overall, Grayson is doing great. We continue to understand that what we're doing with him, the treatments that we're doing, are not the best for his kidneys. So we'll be monitoring that and continuing to give him kidney support. But we know that, you get to a point, and it sucks. Like, that's just the truth, that you go, I need to give them good days, not give me more days. And so, we don't know. We have no idea where this is going to go with Grayson. We just know that it was time to say we need to give him good days, not more days.
Malcolm.
Oh,
He
hey,
just keeps
Malcolm.
looking.
Hey,
It's like,
Malcolm.
but what about me, Mom?
He's like, can I have some chicken? These damn kittens keep taking all the chicken. And then let's see. Yeah, Michelle, Jude and Louie have high anxiety going to the vet. Talk to your vet ahead of time if you've got a cat when you're making an appointment who it's like going to have really high anxiety. And see if you can get a dose of gabapentin to give to them before their appointment so that they're a little more calm when they go. A lot of vets are making that pretty standard and might even ask when you make an appointment, like, hey, is your cat super stressed? Do we need to, have you come into the office and get gabapentin before the appointment? So it's worth an ask. Anything we can do to help our cats be a little calmer. But Grayson will have a blood pressure recheck in 3 weeks, and we're actually giving him an extra dose of gabapentin 2 hours beforehand so that we can possibly kind of simulate what his blood pressure would be like at home, because he's a little more relaxed on the gabapentin at the vet's office. So it's not bad. And that's the thing. It's like borderline. And again, with all the medications he's on, we don't want to give him blood pressure medication if we don't have to. It's another thing his kidneys and liver have to process.
Yeah.
So
well, and on that subject as well, the other thing we are finding out was low phosphorus food.
Oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So kidney diets these days. Gosh, and please let me know if I bore you with all of this stuff. But we've been learning that the kidney diets used to be super low protein, like restrict the protein, restrict the phosphorus. But taking protein away from an aging cat who's already probably going to lose some muscle, it can make it difficult for them to keep muscle on. So we have switched Grayson, and then I'll get into Melody because she had quite a week. Melody is early stage kidney disease at 6 years old. They are both on low phosphorus foods. So we are using the Waruva low phos. There's a Tiki Cat Silver that is a low phos. And there's also, Grayson is doing really good with Dave's pet food restricted diet, which is low phos as well. So it's just something to think about. As your cats age, what can you do to help their kidneys? We've just recently learned that the low phos foods are fairly new to the market.
Yes.
But our cats really like them. And adding water to your food, cats can't get enough water. So if you can water down their food. The more you can hydrate them, the better they are, because they're not.
And if you do water down their food, I would recommend doing like warm water or hot water or something like that. If you refrigerate it, use hot water and warm it up so they get the scent of the food better as well, because especially older cats, as they age, their smelling isn't what it used to be as well. So if you heat it up, it's going to make it more aromatic, and it's just another tool to help you get them to eat.
Yes. And Michelle, that was a good point. She added that is why the pureed treats like the churros are better for them, right? Anything we can do. And I know if you go, researching, it is what you feed your cats and your dogs. It needs to be the personal choice in terms of what you can afford, what you think is best, what you need to keep your household happy. Because there are a lot of very strong opinions about how we should feed our pets right now. And I never want you to be shamed into anything, and know that anytime I'm telling you what we do, it is what we do. It is not the answer. It is what we have found is best. And so
that's for
our cats, right?
Correct. Everyone's different.
I am sitting here and we do have some kibble. it's Tiki Cat. It's the best we can get. We also have some freeze dried kibble because Melody still wants some kibble, and the freeze dried she has taken to.
Yes.
But like Malcolm, we don't know what his history was. He was not a kitten when we got him, but he needs kibble if we're going to get him to eat his wet food. It's like I call it their and your sprinkles on top.
Yeah,
like so I put a little sprinkles on top, or you need crunchies. So where I stand is like, dude, you got to do what's best for your cats, right? And what's best for you and your household. But it is good to learn about, why wet food is better, because it helps hydrate your cats, right? The more we can hydrate them, the better they are. So the more you can hydrate your cat, however you can do that, the better. But it's interesting because I just I had a session. I'm probably going to open up and start doing cat consults again, because I've had a lot of people asking me recently, like, hey, I just have questions about what to do about my cat. So I'm going to try to make some appointments available for that. But I was working with a woman about a month ago, and she was like, yeah, he's gained all this weight, and I don't give him the wet food. I understand that the canned food's going to make him fat. And I was like, we used to think that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We used to think, oh, the wet food is going to make him overweight. And now that we understand their kidneys more and how their bodies work more, it's like, no, they actually,
you're not feeding them Big Macs.
right. There's a balance, right? There's a balance. We can do this. So we are primarily wet food, just because we got a lot of kidney issues in the house. We got to keep these cats hydrated. Johnny Storm with his early virus, we have no idea what that is going to do to his body long term, and so we try to keep him hydrated and take care of his kidneys. And Michelle said, in the water fountains, yes, if you can do water fountains, even having more water bowls around the house, especially if you have multi-cat households. I think that we all are starting to understand we need to have at least one more litter box than we have cats, and they need to be in different places so that nobody is ever afraid to use the litter box. But also water bowls, having water in different places, because you don't see the subtle ways that your cats defend their territory, and one of your cats might just not be getting enough water because one of the other ones has claimed the water bowl and you don't even realize it. So resources is just, I'm a nerd for all of this stuff. So I love learning about, what else can we do? And we've actually put more water bowls and water fountains around our house just to make sure.
Well, and they can get territorial about them as well. Just like
that's what I was just saying.
Yeah, just like a litter box.
Mary Beth said, let's see. Chris says, we just got a fountain. Mary Beth said, my cats wouldn't drink from the fountain. I don't know why.
And sometimes they don't.
It's like preference, right? Like some of us like ice in our water and some of us like it at room temperature. It's like, we don't know. Let's see. Paul says, can confirm Ella had 9 good extra months with wet food and hydration. Yeah, it's amazing what we can do with, especially when our cats start that early stage kidney disease. That's part of the reason, when I was talking about Grayson and I posted, we're going into comfort care. We are, but that doesn't mean 2 days. It might mean,
doesn't even mean a month. It could mean a couple of
years.
It
might mean years.
Yeah.
But we just understand that what we're doing is giving him more comfort and us less days, but we have no idea how many days that's going to be.
Right.
Yeah. So Maribeth said, since they didn't like the water fountains, they put extra water bowls out. Yeah. It's like whatever works, right? You can't have too much access to water for your cats. And Michelle says, yep, we have one upstairs and one downstairs. So it's, it's a big deal, right? Just keep those cats hydrated. I don't know if you want to go see if you can find Melody.
Yeah.
So guys, listen, cats are just weird, right? And you don't know how they're going to react to things.
Weird, obviously.
They're wonderfully weird. You don't know how they're going to react to things. Will you take the the treats away because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Buffy is literally just trying to get into it. It's like, give me the snacks, give me the snacks. You're not getting these snacks, honey. You're not. She says, I'm very food motivated. These two have been food motivated from the beginning. Patches, Buffy's getting violent. She's gonna slay the treat container. Yes, Michelle says, I remember when Johnny Storm has done that. Yeah, Johnny has become very mature with his kittens, haven't you? He says, I'm a good big brother. I'm a very good big brother. All right, I'm going to give you some chicken. Yes, here we go. So last Saturday night, we were giving Melody some time with all of the cats because she's been asking for it. She's actually been like at times she's been laying in the middle of this room showing her belly, which is incredibly just it tells you that she feels safe, right? That's one of the biggest things they communicate with us is if they're laying in a room in the middle of a room showing their belly, they could not feel more safe. That's the most vulnerable part of them, and they're completely exposing it. So she has been doing fabulous and wanting to be with the kittens. We have to watch Giles a little bit because Patches is gonna go live from his phone to show you Melody. So we've been really excited. Like Melody's been making all of this progress coming back into the herd. So last Saturday night, they're in the basement together and we hear sort of a ruckus, right? You're like, oh God, what happened? And everybody is leaning in to, there's a bookshelf when you go right down our basement. There's a bookshelf at the facing the steps and they're all zoned in on it. And I was like, oh no. There's Melody. There she is. Hi, baby girl. We're talking about you. As you can see, she's very relaxed right now. Perfectly happy being in the basement, not with the other cats. Chris, I'll get to your question about litter boxes here in a second. I think the comments are moving a little bit slow. So remind me to come back to that, Patches. So the cats are all like zoned in. And I was like, we live in an area, we've got a pond and the wooded area. And it was when we were getting the snow and really cold. So guess what? Some stupid little mouse thought taking shelter in a house of 7 cats was a good idea. And I was like, oh my gosh, Patrick, I am very, very certain that we have a mouse. And Melody, as sweet as she is, Paul just commented, Melody is a sweetie. She's the sweetest cat, but she is our mouser. She is a predator. When there is a mouse in the house, Melody is the one that's going to murder it.
I call her my little murderess.
But she's doing her job, right? As hard as
Correct.
it is for us, like that's their job. That's why we decided cats should be domesticated because we realized we need them around to keep the rodents away. So we got Giles was like right there with Melody and he was doing the like huffing thing. Like he's like, yeah, I'm going to get my first kill. And I was like, oh my God. So we got all the cats away. We separated everybody, went and got our humane trap and Patches got fresh peanut butter. And normally like 5 minutes, it's a mouse, right? 5 minutes, you put the humane trap down with the peanut butter, they crawl in the trap, set them outside and life is good. We did not have a mouse show itself. So I was like, okay, whatever. It's bedtime. Oh, Melody, look at how happy you are as we talk about your murderous ways. I get up in the morning, like, 4:30 to feed the cats. And I'm getting food ready, and Grayson's the only one out. So the babies go to their room at night. Johnny Storm and Malcolm go to their room at night. So I'm missing Melody and Amelia. I'm like, oh, God. I go down in the basement, and there they are, zoned in on the bookshelf. And I'm like, oh, my God, have you been down here all night? So I feed the cats. I close the basement off. I like wake Patches up a little bit later. I'm like, you've got to help me. There is definitely a mouse that's still in the basement. So we move the bookshelf and I shine the light down there and there's 2 little beady eyes. I get the humane trap out And there happened to be, for some reason, a lid from one of the old containers that we kept some treats in. And so Patches takes the lid and he's literally, because this mouse is like, I'm not going in that trap. I am perfectly happy being safe and warm under this bookshelf. Thank you very much. And so Patches is scooting him with the red Rubbermaid lid into the trap. And so I get him, and both of us at the same time. This was the cutest freaking little mouse ever. Like,
just gonna say, yeah.
Right? Like, for a second, I think you said, like, I thought it was a hamster because it was brown and white, right?
He was just, I mean, the cutest, and he looked like a baby hamster.
Yes, he did. And I was like, and you know, Patches, guys, like, he wants to, like, save all the pets, keep all the pets. And I was like, this is not our pet. We're not keeping this mouse. He's going outside. So we get the mouse. I got the trap, and he's got to put his shoes on. And you know, it had snowed, right? So he had cleared a path for the ducks, but not for us. And he's like, I'm going to put him outside on the deck with the crack corn so that this little mouse can eat before he runs off. And I'm like, okay, whatever, just put him outside. So this sweet little mouse, he puts him outside. The little mouse has a nice little crack corn meal and runs off. And right, Paul, they're adorable, but they're damaging. And it's like, we have 7 cats. We shouldn't have mice in our house. But occasionally, like I said, weather trumped it. He came in our house. So the days after the mouse incident, Melody is losing her mind, and just like, full disclosure, she was peeing everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what? Why? Like, what is the setback? What is going on? She was just fine. Like, now we're secluding her again. And I went to clean up a little bit of Patches had said, you know, she peed in the dining room at like 4:00. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, okay, Grayson had an appointment. So I'm like, we're going to take her in. I go to clean up the pee, and there's a little bit of red in it. I'm like, oh God, she's got an infection, right? That's immediately what you think. So I called the vet, and I was like, hey, how about if we move Grayson's blood pressure appointment, because Melody has blood in her pee and she's been acting like a lunatic. And she literally was like, skittish and like running everywhere, but like wanting to play and be out, but then scared because, you know, she's out, and she just was losing her mind. And I was like, oh God, she's just a mess.
You could tell she was
not
just
able
to regulate
like
her
she
energy.
was not regulating herself, right? Yeah. And so it's kind of similar if we understand our fight or flight, and when we have something traumatic happen that throws us off, our body is in control, right? Like, we've got the adrenaline, the fight or flight. You know, it happens, you know, a lot when we grieve, right? And we can't get ourselves regulated. And it's literally, you've got to convince the body that it's safe, because it doesn't matter how much you're convincing the mind. The body's like, not safe, not safe, not safe. So
yeah, it's like, oh, I got to make some food. Oh, no, wait, no. Halfway through, you're like, right. No, I got to start cleaning. I got to do that. You know,
so like, she was like,
getting those frantic moods.
She was definitely frantic. And it's like, okay, we know. I don't know if you guys are watching the bag party going on with Buffy and Giles. So I'm so grateful that we have a vet who is both, she's an integrative vet, right? So she understands the holistic side and the traditional side, and we figure out how to make both of them work the best for the cat. That's why Grayson's alive, because of the fact that she is such an amazing vet. And so we go, and she's like, I don't want to give her antibiotics. If you're telling me you had this mouse incident and she immediately started acting a fool, let's give her a dose of steroids and see if we can't calm the inflammation down. I did not know this, but cats apparently, when they get that stressed, they can just have like a bout of cystitis, where they're like, the body is so stressed that it like squeezes the bladder. And so they pee out a little bit of blood, but it's not an infection. They just had a moment of stress and peed blood. So I'm happy to say, because I was nervous, right? I'm like, God, well, what if it is an infection? And then we're waiting. And she was like, trust me, let's do this. I trust her. So we gave her the steroid shot on Wednesday. She taught me how to use because we have a tuning fork, and she taught me how to use the tuning fork in a way that I could put my hands in the places that obviously would be hot, right? That are running hot, like her bladder and her backside, and to hit the tuning fork like on I think the tuning fork's upstairs. And like hit the tuning fork so that the energy of the tuning fork was running through me and into her to start giving her some of that flow of energy to get her body to remember it's safe. It's been really, really incredible. And then, I'm a Reiki master and I work with cats. And one of the other things we can do with our hands or a tuning fork is to help their body rebalance, is to move that tuning fork or just your hands in a figure 8 motion. So you set the intention. You'll have to be a Reiki master to do this. Like if you hug someone, you give them good energy, right? But so we've been doing this figure 8 because what it's doing is helping that energy at the root, which is what makes us feel safe, right? So we've got this down here and helping us, making the entire body feel safe. So you can see Grayson is sitting here and he's like, this is like, Grayson's so used to energy work that he's like, yes, let's do this. So it's one of those things that you can do. Obviously you need to go to the vet if your cat is having any kind of erratic behavior, but to kind of help soothe them, we have to remember that they've got these big energy fields because even their whiskers, right, serve the purpose to be longer than their body so that they can understand danger coming from all sides, right? And so they've got these big energy fields. And when their body is going danger, 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 that energy field gets as big as it can to sense as far and wide as it can if there's a threat to their existence, right? So we got to help them like bring that energy back in. So without antibiotics, with just a steroid shot, and again, we're weighing that. We know she's got some kidney issues, but she needs help right now. So we help her right now. We don't say you don't get comfort because you might not live as many days. We have to go like comfort. She needs it right now. So with some energy work and a steroid shot, Melody is, as you could see, as calm as can be and like back to normal. It was amazing. So, I mean, we kind of know now Melody is just going to be in this space where balance is really hard for her and she's going to go prey or she's going to go predator really fast. And so we have to, like we've got our storms and melodies remedies going for her, the sweet melody mist, because that has a whole bunch of crystals and remedies in it that are about the balance, right? Having the confidence that she's safe where she is. So long story short, we had an incredibly eventful week, but I'm very happy to say that Melody seems to be doing good. And now we just kind of have to slowly reintroduce her to the cats, right? So we don't want to just like throw her back out here with everybody because that may trigger her right away to go back into prey when we've got her balanced. So we have to kind of slowly go like, where are you at right now? Do you want to hang out with Grayson for a little bit? Are you cool with Amelia being in your space? What if we do a churu while the kittens are around? And she's like, okay, the kittens can be around. So it's hard because you talk about introductions, right? We want to be done with them, but you're never really done making sure that your cats are all getting along because environmental triggers change how everybody feels about being safe, which changes their relationship with each other. So please kind of try to remember that. Let's see. I'm getting everybody going, woo, Melody. Let's see. Michelle says, my mom, cat's Callie, had emergency surgery due to her insides coming out. Oh no, she had an extremely small bladder and she'd been acting different. She's doing much better. Good. Like, man, like cats' bodies, they're little, but their energy's super big. And so it's like, it's a lot of impact. Stress is a huge impact on their little bitty bodies. Are there any more, if you want to scroll up?
Going
comments?
back to the litter box question.
Oh, Chris's litter box question. Yes. How do you feel about self-cleaning? We don't have any in our house because I feel like we have so many cats that we would just destroy a self-cleaning litter box. But
they're great for a 1 or 2 cat household.
they're great if your cat is okay with it. Yes. That's how I feel about it. If you get it and that is something that scares your cats, don't scare your cats with their litter box, because the thing they need to feel most secure about is their litter box. Because again, out in the wild, doing their business is a vulnerable thing for them to do. When they're in the middle of doing their business, they're very vulnerable. They can't protect themselves. So they still, in our house, view the litter box as they're vulnerable when they're going. Even we just can't convince them, no matter how much we want to, we can't convince them there is no predator going to eat you while you're in our house. That's their programming. So if your cat is okay with a self-cleaning litter box, have at it. I know that
they become very startling. And then if you have multiple cats, it goes back to what you're saying too, like the vulnerability, but that's also the same reason that a lot of cats defend the litter box.
Yeah. Paul's comment, robot litter box, 7 cats, that does not compute. No. And those like that, those big robot litter boxes that are, becoming a bigger thing now. I mean, man, that's a $500 investment to hope that your cat is going to use it. And those are weird to me because you do have to get the steps because they're so high up. But I know people who have like 3 cats and 2 litter robots, and they love them, and the cats use them, and they don't have any problems. So, Laura, what litter system do you use? I don't use I use the put more litter boxes than you have cats around your house and scoop them every day. That is my system. So our main level litter box, I will say they're the most territorial about. I have got to, those have got to stay clean, because no matter how many litter boxes we put anywhere else, they all want to use the main level. So we have several different types of litter boxes.
We have like low step in, wide base. We have circular one. We have one with a cover.
We do have one with a cover, which they actually, with a covered litter box, you need to offer your cat the option of a non-covered litter box, because again, some cats may feel safer in a covered litter box, and some cats may feel like they're trapped. And if they feel like they're trapped, they're going to pee somewhere else. So you have to kind of test it out. We were shocked when we did the covered litter box, how much our cats use a covered litter box. So we have 2 in the house. We have one here and one in the basement.
They're equal opportunity on the litter boxes.
And so, that's our system. And Laura, you're saying you have 2 boxes and 3 cats and it works. That's great. If you ever have a moment where you've got a cat peeing or going outside the box, get them to the vet and then add another litter box just to make sure that something hasn't changed in their territory situation.
And the other thing too,
but it's what works. I mean, there was a point where we had 4 cats and 2 litter boxes, and they didn't care. They were fine.
But also the biggest thing too is being diligent on keeping them clean as well. If you have more cats and litter boxes, that's fine, but you have to be very, very diligent about keeping them clean. So like KJ said a little bit ago, they don't feel territorial. That's too many cents for them.
Yeah. Michelle just added, thank you for all of the suggestions and the help in the comments, as well as the questions. Michelle said we also use the senior cat litter, because I know Smokey is a senior cat. That's one of the things that was a recommendation from our vet when Jaina started peeing outside the box, because she would go to the box but pee right next to it. And so I was like, what is she telling me by getting all the way to the box and then not using it? Is it not clean enough? Is there an issue with getting in the box? So we got a senior cat litter box, which is a low step in, so that she didn't have to go over it, right? Because if there's arthritis and that hurts, I don't want to go in there. I know I'm supposed to use the box. I'd like to use the box, but it hurts to get in the box. So let's eliminate that. And then the senior cat litter is it's usually, there's many different brands, but it's usually it's the white litter that is a lot easier on their paws. So when their paws go into it, do we have arthritis and pain in the paws? Because if we do, and we're using a clay or something that feels more gravelly to them, that's also like, I don't want to go in there. That hurts. So switching to a low level senior box with the senior litter eliminated the issue of Jaina peeing outside the box. She was telling us it hurts to go in there. And so that was an easy fix, right? So it's really important to be like, okay, why? We get mad, right? Like I didn't love that Melody was peeing outside the box this week, but I also was like, what's she trying to tell us? Because she's obviously like, hey, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. So if we can change our mindset and take a breath and go, okay, my cat is not peeing outside the box because it hates me, it's angry with me, it wants to cause a problem for me today. My cat is going outside the box.
That was a very hard thing for us to.
That was a really hard thing for us, right?
Yeah, it was like, oh, yeah, like you go, damn it, not again, as opposed to taking, like you said, take that extra seconds pause and go, okay, this happened for a reason.
Yeah. Yep. And Michelle is saying her boys also love the senior litter. Man, I tell you, if we could get, oh goodness, oh, look at the big paws. I know that's Giles because the big paws. Yes, I know. Good boy. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Because cats.
Literally.
Because cats.
You are a cat.
If we could get all of our cats to use that senior litter, one of the things that's really great about it is how it absorbs the urine. Like there's no smell.
So fantastic.
There's no smell. And so it's so much easier to scoop. It absorbs it and eliminates the odor. But our other cats, they, again, like try it and see if they use it. And I had it sitting out and nobody would get in it.
Yeah, and the other thing too is you can mix the two litters too. So mix if you want to try the senior, but they're used to say the clay, start mixing a little bit of that senior litter in with the clay so they start getting used to it as well.
Will you put the link to my Amazon shop in there? Laura just asked what brand of litter. It's the Dr. Elsie's is the brand that we used. I think there are some other brands now that are doing the same thing, but I really appreciate Dr. Elsie's. We've always had good luck with that, and it's in my Amazon shop. So Patches is putting the link in, which is a big long link. But if you literally just search KJ's Amazon page, it's the first thing that comes up.
Google search it.
Google search KJ's Amazon page.
Don't Yahoo search it.
Yes. Yeah. Google search it. It's the first thing that comes up, but the link is there. And yes, you can get it on Chewy. I will say, Michelle, that I don't know if they solved the problem, but we were having problems with inventory on Chewy. So I did have to switch to auto shipping it through Amazon just because of how many times my auto ship on Chewy would be like, hey, your Dr. Elsie's is out of stock. And I'm like, so and she had trouble with Amazon. Okay, well, it's like hit or miss. I think so. Dr. Elsie's.
So what's the common denominator? Dr. Elsie's is having an inventory issue.
Here's the thing. Yeah, Dr. Elsie's is it's a bigger company now, but I think they're in that like growing phase where more people are starting to realize that they're a quality product. And so they're trying to figure out their inventory situation. And I know Patches can tell you that because Conquest Journals works with Amazon. So trying to keep a balance of like what you have for your own inventory and what needs to be on Amazon is like, I mean, it's a game that is not perfected.
Yeah. If all of a sudden it starts blowing up, then before you know it, it takes time to ship it out and for Amazon to receive it and make it available. So,
but I will say, it is, going to Amazon or Chewy or Petco, as Michelle mentioned, because that senior litter is so effective. If you've got a senior cat that is just, has arthritis, has pain, and that is making it easy, it's worth tracking it down and ordering it and having extras. And I want to say a shout out to Erina and Paul, because they gave us their extra senior litter. They did the same thing. They stocked up on it. And after their lovely cat Ella passed away and they didn't need it anymore, they donated their extra senior litter to our household, which I thoroughly appreciated, so that we had some extra stock in case we ran into that problem. But I would, like I said, Laura, it's worth tracking it down, especially if you have a senior cat. And you don't know, they might not even be telling you that they're having a difficult time and it's painful to use the litter that you're giving them. Just get it, set a box out next to their regular litter box and see which one they use more. And if they're using the senior litter more, that's a good sign.
You have your answer.
That's a good sign that you should be using that litter. And if they're not, okay, maybe try it again in a year or two when they're like, maybe their arthritis has gotten a little worse and they might like it now. Hi, how you doing, baby? Giles says, Mama, I love when you wear toys. I tell you, sometimes I forget because I wear a ton of hoodies around the house, and I'll bend down to like pick something up and he flies out of nowhere, or Buffy flies out of nowhere. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, they're playing with my strings. It's again, and I just discovered that you still have chicken sitting here. Yeah. I do. Well, listen, guys, I think I answered all the questions that came in, and I really, really appreciated all of you being here with us this morning. We'll continue. I'll, try to at least do Coffee and Cats once a month again. If you want to join, I did send links, but I know that I sent it a little bit late. So if you want to join our Patreon and be like backstage and on screen like Michelle was today, it's $3. It just, and honestly, it supports our cats, but it also supports our paying for StreamYard and the things like that, so that I can keep doing what I'm doing. And I just made it $3 so that it would be, something easy that you could be like, hey, you know what? I'm happy to support KJ's cats. Patches, yeah, if you do, nope, you're spelling it wrong. Patches is putting a link. Just do kjonsocial.com. And if you go to kjonsocial.com, you can also like subscribe to YouTube and find me on Instagram and all that. But kjonsocial.com, there's a link that says support KJ as a creator for $3. You can click on that. And then I can have more of you on screen with me and we can see your cats. And it'll help me continue to grow. I've got a meeting coming up with a place to maybe do Coffee and Cats live, or have a kit tea party where we drink tea and have maybe some Arpo kittens come. Yeah, we get all sophisticated. I want to do all of those things. It's just, I don't have a sponsor yet. So, there's two ways that I can continue to grow and help more cats. And that's either sponsors or, our patrons who are already being wonderfully supportive. So that's my little pitch on why I do Patreon. I don't do it because I want to get rich. I do it just to kind of pay for the ability to be able to, share this information, hopefully help you, help your cats, and help more cats. So Johnny Storm, we're going to sign off with some more chicken. You've been such a good boy. You've been such a good boy. Can everybody see your cute little face for a second? Can you show everybody your cute little face? He said, yeah, you got to see my face for a second. I got to head to an event. I'm actually expanding the YouTube channel and the podcast and the live streams. I've joined as an ambassador podcasts and platforms, and my friend Chris Spangle, who you may know from back in the day, he would jump on the Smiley Show. He was on with Abdul on WXNT, and he'd come in to talk politics with us. He is launching this, and I'm actually going to meet him for the launch of podcasts and platforms. at Fountain Square. So I'm heading down to do an appearance. I appreciate and love you too, Mary Beth. Best of luck with your move this weekend. She's the one that won the Conquest, the big Conquest pack.
Oh, we gotta get that shipped out.
Well, she was moving, so she didn't want us to ship it until she got her new address. So we're all good. So thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here with us. I love your cats. Join the Facebook group if you haven't. KJ's Cat Club. That's free to join, and we'll just keep talking cats and doing cool things together. Have a great weekend. Love you. Coffee cheers. Yay.